Brazilians are preparing to head to the polls in the second round of presidential elections on Sunday. The country was once famous for its left-wing politics under former President Lula da Silva. But in the past few years, with Lula now in prison for corruption, dissatisfaction with his Workers' Party has seen many voters swing to the right. Jair Bolsonaro, a man compared to Donald Trump and Rodrigo Duterte, is expected to take the top job. Well, with me now is Marco Ruediger, the Director of Policy Analysis at Fundação Vargas, a think tank in Brazil. Welcome to you. Good to see you here on BBC World News. What's behind the popularity of this new man in Brazilian politics? Of course, he's been in politics for 20 years, but it's the first time standing as a presidential candidate.
Well, we have to understand that Brazilian politics have been very harmed by corruption scandals during these last years, and a process of impeachment of the former President Dilma as well. So taking it together, the mood in overall the Brazilian society is to rip off all people who are, in a sense, involved in scandals, even though they are not really touched by the scandals, but
they're tainted by it.
Yeah, that's right. So the point is that Bolsonaro was one that was not in office at all, and all his campaign was him against others who has their chance to do things, and in the end they didn't succeed. So that's the overall point.
There are those who are questioning the use of fake news in this election, something that obviously we've seen the rise of in American politics and in European politics over the last few years.
I think this is the most important and interesting part of the overall political process right now in Brazil, because Jair Bolsonaro is winning without using TV time. Without doing campaign on the streets. He was harmed in an attempt against his life, but after that, I mean, he's only used the web and Twitters and very powerful structure of WhatsApp that was really impacting the overall political environment.
So are there those who are campaigning against that, who've brought that to the fore and are saying, actually, we need to combat this?
Oh yes, but it's quite difficult to combat this kind of things. I think that the social platforms, I mean, for example, Twitter is trying to deal with the bots that are distorting, creating disinformation in the web. So this is problematic. But anyway, it's difficult to regulate, because in democracy you must have the right of speech. So what is the boundaries for that?
For those who are fearful of a win by Jair Bolsonaro, and that's what most analysts are projecting for the final round of voting, what is it that they are frightened he will do?
Well, in terms of the economy, he will try to deregulate a lot. Something that is maybe not so bad in terms of Brazil, but in terms of the social rights, that's the major concerns, and that is, I can see it's problematic, because given the social symmetry that we have in the country, a certain amount of welfare state is necessary. So what's going to be, no one knows for real.
Okay, Marco Ruediger, thank you very much for giving us that analysis of the Brazilian election.